The following is a presentation of The Day.
What more could you want on a Saturday night? Two undefeated teams, a border rivalry, and fantastic basketball at the X. We've got it all, and you're watching it on Game Day, live on theday.com. Game Day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. Waterford Dental Health voted the #1 best dental practice 6 years in a row by the Day's Best of the Best Reader's Choice Awards. Casey O'Neill and the sports doctor, Keith O'Brien, and we're in the home of Lancer Nation, and there they are. That's Lancer Nation in 2021, but always represented here at the X on senior night. And sports doctor, you mentioned it, an early season test of what exactly do we have?
What do we have? A couple of teams. We got Waterford, who's 2-0, who's beaten Bacon Academy twice, and a lot of talk about Chop Parker's team this year, the New London Whalers, Casey. A show me what you got type of game. I will say this, too, about the X. We've been here, 7,000 times in the last 4 years. Feels a little eerie, but it's still a high school basketball game.
It's also the first time we've ever been on this side of the gym.
Yes, this is true.
The award-winning Lancer cheerleaders right behind me, so I feel like I'm being watched throughout the entire night. I got the cheerleaders
eyes are on
behind
you with the pom-poms. But this is a special night for a couple of different reasons. It was senior night. We just saw the whole pomp and circumstance, and we'll see that at halftime on the game. But it's senior night. It's an early test for two teams, Casey, who are looking to make their mark in the league right now, which is who knows what's going on. Ledyard hasn't got a win yet. NFA finally got back in the winning column. So is it one of these teams that emerges tonight after Game 3, heading into Game 4 and 5, to see what you have a little bit?
3 undefeated teams at this point, worth noting. 2 of them playing against each other here. The other, of course, being Fitch.
Yeah. And
we'll get into scores, but Fitch put a thumping on Montville today. Fitch is good. We know that. We knew they were good last year. NFA is going to be good, but they suffered the early loss to New London. St. Bernard's back in the win column after a loss to NFA. Everyone's beating everybody. These two teams, one of them is going to come out of here 3-0.
Right, and somebody's going to step up here in the next 3 or 4 games and really separate themselves a little bit in the league. Maybe 1 or 2 teams, maybe it's NFA catapulting a little bit, maybe it's St. Bernard's, maybe it's Waterford, maybe it's New London, but this is the time of the season where you think that team will make that next step. It's strange, though, because if it was non-COVID times, these teams would be getting ready for the ECC tournament here at the X.
Yeah.
But with that said, hey, listen, it's basketball. These kids are ready to play. They're chomping at the bit. And I think tonight is one of those games where you could leave the X saying, hey, you know what? That team could be pretty good this year.
Well, if you like storyline, Sports Doctor, this one certainly has no shortage of them. You've got a team in Waterford, which is now a program, not a team, right? Thanks to Mikey Bassetto and Nolan Long before that, and all the way through Liam Spellman, J.J. Brennan.
Yeah.
They're now a program. Bill Bassett has built what Greg Gwud started and turned it into a program.
Yeah.
These kids don't know. They don't need to know if they're good or not because they know they're good. They expect to win. And they're playing a team who record doesn't matter. New London kids always think they're the best.
Yeah.
They always think they're going to win the game, and that's part of what is in the heart of that whole Whaler mentality. So these two teams both think that they're going to win this game, and I think that's excellent.
Sure, and the one thing that I've learned a little bit in this early season from talking to some people, whether it's the media or around the league, about the New London kids is they like each other. They like playing with each other. You've got a new addition on the bench with the assistant coaches. You could talk about him, but they like each other, and they get along. And when you have a little bit of team chemistry, Casey, it goes a long way.
Well, so Kareem Brown back home to coach for New London, which is a huge difference. One thing I'll say, Chop Parker has a little bit of the Gil Vargas mentality of coaching. When Gil was there, he always had a great assistant, and Gil would be the loud, menacing, bad cop.
Sure.
And he would always have a teacher as his assistant coach to do the teaching. So he would, and then Chop's got that right now. He's got a teacher, a coach,
right?
And he can be Chop.
He can be the hammer.
He can
be the hammer. Yeah.
You mentioned team chemistry, Sports Doctor. Well, if you're a basketball guy and you grew up in New London, the last name Pemberton and the last name Perry are names associated with New London basketball going back 30 and 40 years.
Sure.
And of course, the players that stand out for New London this year: Tyshawn Cunningham Pemberton, Rodia Perry, mix in a Martinez, another of the long, athletic families in New London. So you mentioned them liking each other. Well, this is a group of kids who have grown up playing together. These are not kids who have transferred in or transferred out. This is a homegrown unit, and you're right. It shows off with the chemistry.
Yeah, chemistry is a big thing, especially when you're trying to grow too. And if you're getting along and you're sharing the basketball and learning from each other, it's very good stuff.
The other side of thing, you look at Waterford, and you see name after name of kids that excel in other sports, right? Quincy Foran and Jordan Elsey and Sam Menders, Will Sutman. These are all people who are standouts in other sports. So you see Waterford and New London about ready to be introduced. We'll get them as they come onto the floor. The starting lineups being announced by the voice of Waterford, Mr. Andy Walker.
You make mention to that too about some of the kids who we just mentioned. An athlete's an athlete. So a kid like Sam Menders is an athlete. He's a good football player, all-state in track. So putting him on the basketball court, and Coach Bassett's he's no dummy. He made Sam a captain. He can find a place for him.
New London coming out. There's Davon Benjamin, a senior guard. Sean Raymond, the size of the Whalers, 6'4" junior. Does a little bit of all of it. And then we make mention here, you see Rodia Perry, the best player for New London in many respects, just gave a shout out to the heavens. He's wearing number 24 tonight in honor of Rondé Ford, the young man who lost his life tragically in a shooting in New London, who was a New London football, basketball, baseball player growing up, and one of Perry's best friends, and he's wearing 24 tonight in honor of Rondé Ford, who wore 24. So an emotional night for Rodia Perry and the Perry family, I'm sure. And as we go now to Andy Walker and the Waterford introductions, there's a name familiar to Waterford basketball, right? Peabody?
Yeah.
Landon Peabody, of course, great career at Waterford High School. Nolan Goldschneider, a junior. A lot of size at Waterford, though. 6'2", 6 feet, all those long. Sean O'Connell, the junior.
Young Oak.
It's
unseasoned Oak.
And we talked about Waterford. It's still a young Waterford team. Sophomore, junior. And his might be the best player on the floor tonight. Trevor D'Amico, I got it from my number one scout.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna divulge information, Sports Doctor. I got my guys.
Sure, you do.
And my scout said, D'Amico, best player on the floor tonight. Keep an eye out. He's ready.
Lights out D'Amico.
Officials tonight, AJ Ganelli and Steve Nunn.
AJ and I had a conversation about the golf swing before the game.
AJ's got a good one.
He's a good. He can move it.
So, as always, we want you at home to let us know, where are you watching the game? Send us a photo on Facebook or Twitter, because you know what, Sports Doctor? We want to know who has the best virtual fan section out there. Mm-hmm. We are in the home of Lancer Nation. Where are you at, Lancer Nation alum and current? Send us a photo on Facebook or Twitter at GameDayCT, and we're going to include you in the broadcast. We're going to show you to the world where you're watching the game from. We've had some good ones. And on that note, a special shout out to a game day favorite, Sports Doctor. When I say St. Bernard's, who's the first person you think of? St. Bernard's alumni, all game day spectacular.
Harold Presley.
All right, I'm talking about
game day. Max Lee. There you go, Max Lee.
I don't know. I'm pretty sure I said
Frankie
game day.
Yeah, okay.
We never broadcast Harold Presley, Sports Doctor. I was 8.
Yeah.
Sports Doctor was on the court with him, but I was
Harold
only 8
Presley,
years old.
that's right, my man.
Max Lee hit a game winner for Eastern today to beat UMass Dartmouth 87-85.
Attaboy, Mac. Mad Max on the court. Jump ball.
O'Connell wins the tip, and the Lancers will have the first possession. It's in the hands of Peabody. Got to love the big guard.
Oh, man-to-man defense here, too, by the Whalers.
Peabody and Pemberton, that's going to be a nice matchup. Baseline drive, and the floater is good from Goldschneider.
Yeah, a little 1-2-2 zone here, Casey, with the Lancers. Menders up top. Athlete, good wingspan. Taking away some passing lanes.
Look for Perry to take over with Cunningham. Those are the two dynamic players on offense.
Yep.
Raymond will clean things up, take some open looks.
Yeah, ball movement and patience, the way to beat the zone.
Look for the weak side skip pass. That's what they want to do. Good extension, though. Perry goes baseline. Nice cross pass, but tipped out of bounds. Goldschneider. And right now, the zone given, New London not exactly sure what they want to do to attack.
Yep, got to move the basketball. Like I said, skip pass, swing pass, move the ball. Find the creases in the zone, slip somebody up to the high post, turn and face, and deal the goods from there.
I will say this again. We've said it after watching multiple zones in our first few weeks. You cannot beat the zone
with dribbling.
And you can't beat it skipping it around the perimeter. You've got to attack it into the paint somewhere. Open look for Perry for three. Good.
Well, one thing I can tell you in the first couple of sets here, New London's offense looks patient. Make the extra pass, go in the corner, drill the three.
There's a steal from Perry coming in the other direction. Up, layup is good. Rodia Perry
smooth.
with the first 5 points for the Whalers. No call, rebound O'Connell, goes up strong and finishes. I like the young Oak call.
Yeah.
Those backyard basketball games are no joke. His brother does not want to lose a game.
No. Maybe a bloody nose or two along the way.
I want to ask.
Little elbow here or there.
I want you to ask him, how many times did your brother punch you in the face during a backyard basketball game? You got threat in the zone, skip pass, Raymond, open, back iron, no good. Menders rebounds, and they'll look to push. And an easy bucket on the other end for D'Amico.
Yeah, D'Amico on the baseline twice, taking candy from a baby there. Too easy. Got to have some defensive help. Drop down, take away that baseline.
Cunningham, Pemberton drives, and we're going to get a charge.
Yep.
Menders stood his ground, a little out of control.
Good idea for it. Extra pass. Try to crack the zone. Again, you talk about the athleticism of Menders, Casey. Track, football, basketball. Nice, very nice career here at Waterford High School.
New London, a little pressure
kid,
now.
too.
Yes.
Real tough kid.
Little man pressure from the Whalers. Benjamin. And now Oak loses the ball. We're going to have it out of bounds, and it's going to be New London basketball. A little out of control that time. O'Connell going to the basket.
Oak's looking for a call. I was going to call travel on that one. He kind of fell down with the basketball. And in my book, that's considered a travel. I don't know about yours.
He was looking for a call. That's
right,
not the, that's
but if you
not the
fall
one he
down with the basketball, it's traveling.
That's not the call he was looking for.
Not bowling for dollars here. I mean, geez. Here we go. It's early in the season, Case. All right.
New London running a little motion. Swinging it around, looking to try to find Perry. They love him on the outside.
Nobody come up to that high post yet. Slip a guy up to that elbow area.
Perry drives baseline, floater, gets his own roll, and it goes.
Smooth, isn't he?
Listen, he's not a
George Gervin finger roll finish at the rim to Perry.
He's not he's not a chucker, sports doctor.
No.
This is a guy that gets to the basket and has some real skills as a scorer.
Well, 7 points. It would take me 40 shots to get 7 points.
Well, that's why.
You realize that.
That's true. Nice look underneath. Can't finish. D'Amico. New London will push with Perry. Before it goes it.
Yeah, you wanted to pull the trigger out. He had a good look at it.
I would have liked to have seen him.
I'd give him the green light all day.
Stutter step. Pemberton, jump step. We're going to get a travel as he took the step, and then the jump step, and they're going to say reach in, which I think
is
it's a bailout. I think it's a bailout. You know, sports.
What's Pemberton doing with that ball, Casey? I'm sorry. What's he doing with that ball when he gets so far underneath by the rim? He's got double defenders on him. He's got to make a decision. He's going to make an offensive move, or he's going to drive and kick. So far, right now, Pemberton a little bit out of sorts.
Well, your latter point is the best one. You're going to have to drive and kick. Open look for Perry for three, short. Rebound ripped away by Peabody.
You can't get yourself too far where you can't kick it.
That's right. He's got to kick it sooner.
Yes.
Before the guys can double him. Perry steps in with the steal.
Nice pass. Good finish. Look at Perry. Heads up to Pemberton at the rim. Thread the needle case. Good look.
That New London man pressure, they're going to jump every passing lane they can. They're going to be right up on them.
It's man pressure with help on the backside, too. Perry's leaving his man coming over and picking pockets.
And, you know, Perry's not little. That's a
no,
solid.
he's a tough kid,
That's
yeah.
a solid kid right there. I like that, the size. And Pemberton's not tiny either.
No.
Two teams with some length. After we watched the St. Bernard's where everyone's 5'8", you know, those kids are great, but they have their small guards. This is different. This is a little bit more of the size. O'Connell posts. Nice move with the left hand, but can't finish. And Bonami with a rebound. We're going to go the other way for New London.
Get into attack mode here quick.
3, no good. Rebound taken by Waterford.
Good look, though. I like the pump fake in the corner, Casey. Get the defense sagging off and then rise up and try and knock down that 3.
Spin, left-handed floater. Oh, that's a pretty move. In the paint by Goldschneider. Spin, left-hand floater, Sports Doctor.
Yeah.
Raymond pump fake, drives. Menders steps in and gets the charge. That's 2. Menders, that's what you're talking about, a player who's heads up.
Yeah, heads up, and Menders is coming from the top of the key. That's not weak side help from the baseline. He is the top of the key on the zone defense. He recognizes his man is beaten on the baseline, Casey, and he drops down. Fast player.
We got a mask break, which means it's time for us to take a break. 1-point game. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
Hey, Casey, you know what? Here you go. This is what you see on an offense created off of defense, with Perry coming down and picking some pockets. And then there you go. Weak side help on the defense, then threading the needle with the dish, and then 2 at the rim by Pemberton. That is what you need. That is just what the doctor ordered. Talk about those extra points, stealing possessions. And that's New London basketball in a nutshell, too.
Yeah, they got to create points off of the defense. We saw it there. I got to say, into the game, we're going to get our first sub. Number 5, into the game is number 11, Jordan Elsey. If that name sounds familiar, well, it should.
Uh-huh.
Of course, he is the son of the great musician and former Waterford athlete Steve Elsey, who I've know a little bit.
Uncle was a pretty good ball player, too, wasn't he?
Nephew of Lee Elsey, who is watching us right now, I know for a fact.
He's a good ball player.
Perry threads the needle up ahead to Pemberton, who scores underneath. And those two, you're going to hear those names an awful lot.
Yeah, and the run out that time by Pemberton to break free, and that's heads-up play. All 11 points right now from Perry and Pemberton for the Whalers.
So it's funny because Jordan Elsey is a hard-nosed defensive player, and his Uncle Lee never played defense in any sport of his life.
Chucker.
That was a chucker. That's a nice floater right there by Goldschneider.
Lee was a chucker.
Lee's never played defense in anything. 400-foot home runs, and they created the words DH for him. Pemberton wanted to step back instead. Perry with a 3, no good, short rim, strong by O'Connell, and he'll push.
Well, extra pass there might have done you some good.
3 ball the other way is good from D'Amico.
It's the one thing you can really count on Waterford basketball team is they know where they're going to be on the court. Spacing, where players are, you trust, you drive and kick, you find your man. Again, you talk about it being a program. It's part of the style. It's part of the offense. A trap down in the corner on Perry.
Raymond forgoes the 3. Now baseline drive. Pemberton jump step. I think he got away with a walk, but that's a nice move.
No, I got to call that a Euro step right there. That's a good move.
I'm going to call it a little delicious yoo-hoo right there. That was like, where'd he come from? A little yoo-hoo. And there's a steal on the other end by Raymond. Ball loose, though, and O'Connell comes back down with it. Blocked by Raymond.
Oak looking for a call.
Oh, look
Good
at that
luck.
pass up ahead to Pemberton, and he can't finish because there was some menace at the rim, but then a great job by Benami to knock it off of a Water defender, and it will be Whaler basketball. So, I gotta say, Sports Doctor, we're so used to this place being like a sound factory. Like it's like, off the charts.
Yeah.
You can hear whenever you can hear someone walk in or out of the exit at this point.
Sure.
I mean, that is a little. Of all the buildings we've been in so far, it's a little weird.
It's odd. It's really eerie.
I think we've just become used to the X being, a place of noise. And I'll tell you what, it's the first time it's noticeable. But
I can actually hear what I'm saying in the game here, so I don't know if it's a good or bad thing.
There's a pick by Perry. Goes up with a left-handed layup and finishes it.
Heads up, isn't he? Heads up.
I'll tell you, you can't write this kid off. You know what I mean? It's like every time he disappears out of the, he's lurking. He's a lurker, Sports Doc.
Yes.
Straightaway three from Peabody is no good. Perry with the rebound, under 30 seconds. Up ahead to Pemberton. Reverse layup is good.
At the
soft
rim.
little
Look
touch.
at the finish. These two kids are putting on a show right now, Casey. And New London getting a lot of easy buckets off a transition.
Gonna get a touch foul out on the perimeter as there's 13 seconds remaining here in the first period.
Fouls number 1, Tayshawn Cunningham Pemberton, his second, team's third.
Up and pounds it goes to D'Amico. D'Amico, crossover to the middle, hangs in the air. Jumper is back iron, no good. Rebound, Raymond, under 6 seconds remaining. Perry, long three at the buzzer. Back iron, in and out, no good. And we're at the end of period 1. 4-point Whaler lead. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com.
Okay, class. What do you want to be when you grow up? Jace.
I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be a ballerina. I want to be an astronaut. I want to be homeless. I want to hear scary voices no one else can hear. I want to be addicted to drugs. I want to be an actress. I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be an actress. I want to be a football player. I want to be an actor.
Not one child has dreams of these things becoming a reality. Sometimes choices are set before we even have a voice.
With Sound Community Services, I found my voice.
We're back, 4-point Whaler lead, and the Sports Doctor has head coach Craig Parker.
Coach, you guys got a 4-point lead right now after the first quarter. Is it your defense that is creating your offense at this point right now?
Yeah, our defense is pretty good. Our offense we just have to execute a little better defensively.
Scoring at the rim, no easy buckets, that makes things go a little bit better for your team?
I would hope so. We need to do more of that.
All right, Coach, good luck.
The insight from Coach Craig Parker. 4-point lead and the ball for the Whalers. Right now, Pemberton and Perry have all 17 for New London. In the other direction, Menders misses the layup, but the follow is good. So Waterford trying to turn the tables. I think Bill Bassett saying we need to do a little bit of energy and defense as well. Benjamin gets himself into trouble and gets a walk, and there's where Davon Benjamin, you got to get that kick out earlier. Trying to split up top, and the same thing. Oh, Sports Doctor, Coach Parker.
You're riveting.
You never know. Well, listen, next time you ask him a question about, his travel plans. Say, Coach, if you could go anywhere in the world on vacation, where would it be?
Go to Waterford High School on a Saturday night.
No, I think that's the kind of question you got to throw one.
Yeah, I do. You're right.
That way he's caught off guard.
Yeah, the basketball stuff is just kind of worn out right now.
I said, Coach, listen, it's a Friday night. I got to impress somebody with a dinner. Where am I going?
Yeah,
like that kind of question.
Cheaply though. I don't want to break the bank for dinner. Yeah, I'm a UPS guy. I don't have that kind of money.
Pizzarama for a.
I don't. Pizza Works in Old Saybrook.
No, he's not. Chop
Chop
Parker's not going to Pizza Works.
He goes to Pizzarama and
Yeah.
Crown Pizza or
Pizzarama was
Ocean Pizza?
Pizzarama was the go-to post-game pizza place for many, many years. Officials AJ Ganelli and Steve.
His
Nunn.
son looked at me and said, "He's a great interview, isn't he, Keith?" Hey, CJ up in the stands up there. Always a great interview.
If you win next time, have CJ come down.
Yeah, that's right.
So, we were talking while you were coming back, Sports Doctor, that Pemberton and Perry have all 17 of New London points. And then you saw Menders with a defensive play in the other direction. I got to think the message from Bill Bassett was, we've got to turn up the defensive pressure.
There's CJ. Yeah, there he is. Doing a little film work out there. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that, if Sam is the guy that has to disrupt things over there, then it's got to be him. He's already taken 2 charges in the game. So if he's got to be a little more active on the perimeter and kind of push either Perry and or Pemberton out of the comfort zone, well, it's got to be him.
Benjamin for 3, no good. Rebound Menders. Waterford looks to push.
It's a double dribble.
Tip and Perry will come to the steal. 3 from the wing, no good from Martinez. Bebo is a shooter, and just like his brother Elijah. And a 3 in the other direction from Trevor D'Amico. TD for 3.
10 points for D'Amico, Casey. Double figures, knocking him down from the 3-point line. A skip pass here for New London. Move it.
Well, part of it is Bonami's got to find a way to make himself more available.
That's a big-time shot right there by Sean Raymond. And, again, you got to have somebody other than Perry or Pemberton scoring, so somebody stopped up and knocked down a 3, stepped up.
Peabody no good. Perry with a rebound. He's going to push. Does not have numbers, and so wisely pulls it out. Perry, long straightaway 3. Bank is open. Rodia.
Lordy. From downtown. 12 points for Perry.
D'Amico thought about it. Now O'Connell posting up, wants the basketball. Instead, up top to Peabody.
They give him the ball. Feed him. Yep.
But the good hands.
Yeah. You got to get that ball up in the air for the big man. Get your hands up in the air, Oak. How many times we see that big men make themselves small by bringing their hands down and call for the ball down by the waist?
Benjamin pushing for New London.
6'5" for a reason. You'd love to have that kind of height, wouldn't you? Jeez.
6'5". I'd like any number to have a 6. Raymond, foul line jumper, in and out.
Good look.
First time the Whalers have attacked the middle. I like that. Up ahead, off the fingers of Tip Menders, and it'll be Whaler basketball. I'm going to see Cameron Sinville, long, lanky sophomore, checking into the ball game for New London.
Timeout or a mask break?
Elsie, timeout. Elsie will come back in the ball game for New London. Full timeout, which is a good time for us to tell you that Game Day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. Great smiles start here at Waterford Dental Health, and your smile and your health, it's their top priority. Waterford Dental Health, Whalers with a 5-point lead here in the second period. Let's see some pictures of where you're watching the game tonight. Oh, there's a dynamic duo if I've ever seen one. Mikey Bassetto with the bling on the finger, and JJ goes, I got 2.
Hey, cash money right there.
Those 2
JJ
guys.
Brennan, cash money. Yep.
Now,
is that your daughter?
that looks like a little.
Peter Wappy's daughter?
That looks like a little kitty cat Wappy watching the game in Waterford.
Good stuff.
I have to say I like the sweatshirt. Got her young with the Lancer sweatshirt. New London right now has clearly the quickness advantage, and they're much more defensive-minded in terms of the pressure. Waterford seems to be settling way too much, especially on the – and I don't like the Waterford pressure on the defensive end. I'd like to see Waterford turn the pressure up a little bit.
You got to crank it up a little bit.
Get that zone flying around a little bit.
Yeah.
And conversely, there's Raymond in the middle.
That's too easy. That's too easy.
And a jumper, no good. And we're gonna get a push foul on Ben-Ami. New London, I love what they just did with Raymond there. It's the first time they've sent someone to the middle of that zone. You got to have your big guy available in the middle of the zone.
Right.
You can turn around and shoot it. You can kick it out.
Right.
But you can't just perimeter pass, and that's the first time they've done that.
It was a good look. It was a horrible shot, but it was a good look. And Raymond's knocked down a jumper here in the game, so he has that threat of also scoring.
Big Will Sutman in the ball game for Waterford. If you don't know that he's an defensive lineman, you better recognize. You know he's going to be moving bodies around. 3, D'Amico in and out. Ball tipped. Look at him. Look at Sutman work for it. You know what? Listen, if we're going to call a Sutman at Waterford, it's been about 7 years that we've been calling Sutmans at Waterford. So here's where I want to, from the Walker to Peyton to Will. Walker, big, physical, tough kid, right?
Yeah, sure.
Peyton, a little more skilled.
Lanky. Yeah.
Will, I'm telling you right now, the other two, they don't want any part of Will.
Yeah, pack a lunch.
Will's taking care of business. Rebound by Elsie and a kick out. D'Amico, they're going to try to double.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a nice play by D'Amico. Shot no good. Put back and up, no good. Sutman is battling. He's just moving people over there. Menders, good look. Sutman. He is throwing the body around. I have my new favorite player. My new favorite player is Will Sutman. In the corner. 3 ball. Got it.
Big time look.
Babo for 3.
Martinez finally getting in the scoring column there. 9 straight points here by the Whalers. A little 9-0 run.
And a turnover the other way.
A little sloppy right now for Waterford.
Well, I'm going to be the first to say it. Bacon Academy boys struggling. Not a great team right now. And that's who Waterford played their both games against. So Waterford really hasn't figured out how good they are. This is a jump in competition. New London has
show me what you got game. It really is.
NFA and Ledger, right?
Yeah.
Waterford, Bacon Academy twice. We got a mask break, which means it's time for us to take a break. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com. Game Day is a production of The Day Publishing Company. If you'd like to support Game Day and help us continue to bring you the best in Connecticut high school sports, please consider purchasing a print or digital subscription to The Day at theday.com/subscribe.
The Day strives to cover stories our readers care about. With a feature called Curious CT, we make it easier for you to tell us what you want to know about the people, places, and issues in southeastern Connecticut. You submit a question, readers vote, and we investigate and report. Go to theday.com/CuriousCT for more details. You ask, you vote, we investigate.
Well, Casey, New London right now up by 8 and got things moving a little bit in the offensive end. And, Waterford struggling on the offensive end. But I'm telling you, this New London team is starting to show you a little bit of cohesion. We talked about them, the chemistry, the kids getting along, playing together. And right now you've sprinkled in a couple of players other than Perry and Pemberton who have chipped in. And I think that's the reason why this lead has gone from 3 or 4 to 8.
Martinez hits a 3. Raymond
hit a 3, yeah. You get a couple extra guys, adding to the lunch pail, and that fills up pretty quick.
New London taking a little bit of the air out of the ball. Drive, kick, and Raymond wisely. There's that discipline you talked about, Sports Doctor. That was tipped by Menders.
Yeah. And Waterford's got to crank things up on the defensive end. There's no doubt about that.
Long 3 by Perry. Got it!
Oh.
Rodia, Perry with another triple.
Yeah, outside of Menders, who's selling out on the defensive end? Who's coming out on the wing to grab that?
Yeah, I'm not looking. That's the one thing I've been surprised and disappointed by, the defensive intensity of Waterford. There's a steal coming away the other end. Martinez, no call as he was bumped. And now sloppy.
Yep.
Here comes Perry in the other direction. Kick out. Martinez baseline, and he turns it over. We're going to get a foul on Menders, blocking foul as Martinez went baseline.
That's a good call. Too handsy that time by Menders. Just, either going to seal the baseline, take that away. Once you start using your hands to guide an offensive player, they're going to whistle out every time.
Goldschneider back in the ball game. He replaces Menders. Martinez will inbound the basketball underneath for the Whalers. I love the yellow. I love the gold jerseys tonight, too.
Of course you do.
But look at the sneakers. You got to love the green sneakers. The Perry looks fabulous. That's a good look.
New
right
London
there.
love fest
That's
right
a
now.
good
I
look.
love it, yeah.
That's a good look right there.
Didn't take too long. It only took us almost 2 quarters. We're in New London mode.
I like the color scheme. Martinez for 3, no good, but a rebound underneath, pump fake, and we're going to get a travel on Smith, Kobe Smith. Put it to the floor. Don't put it to the floor.
Oh, catch it high, shoot it high.
I don't mind the pump fake.
Right,
you don't
have to
put it back
dribble.
down, yeah. Pump fake and go.
Said that, we talked about big people making themselves small and bringing the ball down by your waist. No.
D'Amico, hounded.
Walk there.
O'Connell, jump step, left hand finish.
Good move that time. That's a good move to your right. Finish with the left. A little, excuse me, switch over at the rim. And delivering for 2. I think he needs some more touches on the offensive end.
We got a timeout, New London. Opportunity for us to talk a little bit about some other games that were played today and get your take on it. First, we're going to start with Fitch, 82, Montville 33.
Yep.
Fitch now 3-0, a 50-point win over Montville. And watch out. I said earlier in the year, people forget Fitch was 17-3 last year.
Yeah.
That's a good team, and they're undefeated, and we're going to get a chance to see them next week.
Yeah,
I think,
questions about the backcourt and stuff like that, but, Coach Miller's got those guys going in the right direction, so that's a big win.
Oh, there comes a young Gallerini out there, number 1 fan. Oh, listen, his father can palm both of the basketballs. I want to see him do that. He's got the big screen, too. I love the big screen.
Yeah.
Another one, East Lyme 62, Bacon 58, so the Vikings with their early season victory.
Sure.
And then, surprising,
Shocker.
St. Bernard's 63, Ledger 40, a 23-point win for St. Bernard's,
Yeah.
shaking the rust off after that NFA game.
Yeah, and we talked about Ledger maybe possibly being one of the top 2 or 3 teams in the league, and, Dave Cornish looking for his first win. Maybe one guy can't do it himself in Jabari Jones.
0-3, they have NFA next week.
Tough.
But they also have Waterford,
Tough.
and that's a game they can win, but that's a tough way to start the season.
It's a tough way to lose kids, too. Tough way to lose interest in your season when you start 0-3.
Nice hands by Elsie.
Chop up, looking for a call.
Perry kicks to the corner.
Waterford extending Casey, switching their defense to a man-to-man and looking to trap off that man-to-man.
Well, Elsie is their best defensive player, and he's trying to take on Perry, and that is a lot to ask for the sophomore. The junior, rather. How's Jordan Elsie a junior? He's 8 years old.
Chop trying to put this game on ice till the halftime?
Martinez, if he's not taking that 3, then they want the last shot. Raymond for 3 instead. Got it!
Look. Well, now you got a couple of guys, we talked about it in the break with Mike DeMauro. He said, these guys need some help. Now you got your help, and that's why you're up by 11.
Under 20 seconds. Kick. O'Connell spins, hangs in the air, swings it out. 3-pointer. Good from Goldschneider. 9 for Goldschneider. Raymond a long 3 at the buzzer. Got it! Buzzer beater for Sean Raymond, and the triple sends the Whalers to a 12-point lead at halftime, 35-23. And the sports doctor going to try to grab Coach Parker, or is he going to – where's the sports doctor going? We're going to get Coach Bill Bassett, I believe, before halftime and find out how he feels about the 12-point deficit here at the X. Sports doctor.
Bill, you guys find yourself down by 12 heading into the locker room. What's the message getting back into the game in the second half?
We just got to pick up our defense. That's where it starts and stops. Pick up our defense for today.
Yeah, and how do you create easier opportunities on the offensive end?
Execute what we do well.
All right, Coach, good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
You're here at halftime, 35-23, New London on top. We have a very special thing tonight. It's senior night for the Lancers. We have a very special video message from the parents who were not able to attend tonight's game in person due to the COVID restrictions. So to all the parents out there who have seniors, congratulations, and to the seniors, this is for you.
Hey Mike, happy senior night. Just know me and Mom are so proud of you.
Congratulations, Mikey. We love you so much. And good luck.
Hey Quincy, it's Dad. You know Mom doesn't have a voice, but we both wanted to say that we are proud of you. You've worked hard academically and athletically. We are excited to see what's the next step for you and what you decide about school next year. Yeah. We all love you. Have a good game.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Aiden. I'm so proud of everything you've done both on and off the court, and can't wait to see what you'll do next. Go get him, bud.
Hey Aiden, just want to tell you how proud I am of you. It's been so much fun watching you play basketball all these years, and I can't wait to see all the great things you're going to do next. So proud of you, honey. Love you.
Hi everyone, I'm Steve. This is Tracy. We are the proud parents of our shining star, Sam Menders. We'd like to wish all the varsity players and the entire 2021 Waterford varsity basketball team the best of luck tonight and for the rest of the basketball season.
Sam, congratulations on your senior year. We have loved watching you play basketball all these years. We're sorry we can't be there tonight, but we know you will play hard and have a great game. We will be watching you online, and we love you.
Stay safe.
Trevor, you make me so proud. You've become a great man. I am excited for what you will do in the future. I love you.
Trevor, you've always been a good brother. I look up to you more than you think I do. And it's always good watching you play basketball, and you're going to do good things.
Oh, the color of my hair is gray now. The love in my heart is always there for you, Trevor. I love you.
We love you.
We love you.
We love you.
Mwah, mwah, mwah. Trevor, I'm so proud of you on the senior night. Although I can't be there, I wish the best for you. You're going to do great. I wish the best for you and your team this year. Good luck.
And I'm grateful you got to have a senior season. I know you worked very hard during your youth to get to this point, and make the most of it.
Sports Doctor, Whalers seem to have everything going for him tonight, and certainly the end of the half, no exception.
Yeah, Casey, talk about a Johnny on the spot, Raymond at the buzzer, boom, for three, big time shot. And he's one of those extra guys who has carried this offense other than Perry and Pemberton.
Yeah, Perry and Pemberton have been really good defensive to the offensive. But every time Martinez knocks down a three or Raymond knocks down a three, or you get, good minutes from Kobe Smith, and you got, that just propels them a little bit. I've seen enough to know two things about this New London team. One is they're legit. They are a competitive team in this league. And two, they are more disciplined than we've seen in a few years.
Extremely disciplined. Usually it's let's hit the floor, let's chuck it, let's run it. But, the spacing on offense, the passing, the trust between the teammates, obviously they're still going to create offense off of defense. You see on the turnovers and the double teams. But where they're at on the floor at all times, that is disciplined basketball. And we have not seen that in the last 2 or 3 years from this Whaler bunch.
And two things I can say for certain about Waterford. They're going to be fine. Yeah. But we hit it. You heard, I don't recall Bill Bassett ever, that's as
deflated?
Well, that was quiet angry.
Yeah.
He was not going to say what was on his mind, which was, I am livid about our defensive performance in the first half. And for a team, Waterford, one of the things that has defined them in the Bill Bassett era has been their toughness and their defense.
Yeah.
And tonight they're not playing with either right now. And so I think that's where what he was trying to say to you without steam coming out of his ears was, we're not playing defensively, we're not playing tough, and I don't know why. And I think part of it, though, 2 games against Bacon Academy, look, that's a
different level of competition over here in New London.
And not just that, and it is, but a completely different kind of team.
Yeah.
Waterford has not had the defensive pressure yet. They have not had a team with two dynamic players, or a team that is as quick or athletic, and you can't simulate it in practice. It's so, I think they were caught off guard a little bit by just how good New London actually is. So here comes the second half. Can New London finish and avoid getting into an ugly game?
Yeah.
And can Waterford up the defensive pressure and the toughness and get some early baskets?
The great storyline. And, here's the other part of that case, too. Back to Waterford on offense. Where are they going to get their identity? If it's not D'Amico chucking threes, or, I think to see O'Connell get in the mix a little bit more. Get him some more touches. Let him operate down the block. Get some easy buckets. Hard cover.
Yeah, exactly right. New London has gotten all the transition buckets. They've had the easier time of it. I saw some things. We saw glimpses on the offensive end, right? So D'Amico's had some good moments, and Goldschneider's had some good moments, and O'Connell's had some moments. Even Sutman coming in and just banging around. Where they've really lacked is on the defensive end.
Yeah.
Too many turnovers on offense, and not enough defensive pressure on defense. We will start the second half here with the Whalers on top 12, and Waterford will have the ball in their home whites. O'Connell will inbound right in front of us. And there's a quick steal right off the rip and a basket by Benjamin. Not the way Waterford wanted to start. And New London right back out into that man pressure.
Yeah.
Menders, beautiful pass, running the floor is D'Amico. There's an easy basket.
That's a good attack there by Menders. Yeah, we're good.
Perry, stutter step, hangs in the air, and a block by O'Connell at the rim. Check that.
Menders.
It was Peabody, actually. And O'Connell coming the other way, and Pemberton blocks him, but he'll get the body in the foul. No, it was Peabody. Listen, the kid's a sophomore. He's a 6'2" guard as a sophomore. Yeah, that's a size that you don't normally see as a guard. And I don't think anybody realized that he was down there by the rim, and he went up and took care of business. Now there's something to make. You want a storyline? That's Pemberton's third foul here early in the third period, and that's something to keep an eye on. We talked about what is New London like when one of them's not on the floor. Well, it'll be interesting if Cunningham has to come off the floor. What does Waterford do differently? Do they do something boxing one-y on Perry or something? We'll see. Free throw's good, 10-point lead. Waterford staying in man. Benjamin gets the screen from Raymond, and it swings around to Perry.
That'll help defense here by Waterford, Casey. They're doubling everything off his screens.
Oh, nice look underneath. Pemberton will be fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot two. So the dump in to Ben-Ami, and then he found Pemberton, and he'll go to the line.
Waterford's doubling everything now off these screens. There's going to be an open player or two out there for New London. Just got to stay patient.
When in doubt, reverse. When in doubt, look in the other direction. 2 for Pemberton. Back iron on the first one, and that means that we are right. So Martinez is on the scorer's table. He's going to check in for Pemberton after this free throw. Junior guard, Tyshawn Cunningham Pemberton. Back iron on the second one as well. Waterford will run, and losing it off his hip is Menders. They'll say it was tipped, and Martinez will check into the ballgame. So this is the smallest lineup that you're going to see New London have. This is not a big lineup, and this is without their main ball handler. So you're going to see how they run it through Perry and Raymond probably, looking for Martinez on the wing. Waterford will inbound up top. O'Connell. Drive, tries to zip it, tipped, and instead it gets in the hands of Goldschneider. No easy baskets here for Waterford.
Oh, good defense here by the Whalers.
Open three for Goldschneider, back iron, no good, and there's a strong rebound by Benjamin. Up ahead, Perry with O'Connell, hangs in the air, and O'Connell got a piece of it, and Menders will run in the other direction.
The challenge turned away by Oak.
3 from Peabody, no good. And now Whalers have numbers, 3-on-1. Benjamin hangs left hand, but Perry with a rebound. Kick, 3-ball Martinez, no good. And look at Benjamin hustle, tip it out of bounds it'll be Waterford basketball, but the Little Whalers.
Yeah, a lot of scoring opportunities, a lot of scrapping going on there for New London, just not knocking down shots. But they are active out there.
Martinez comes out on Goldschneider, gets a pick. O'Connell wants it, gets it, spins, pump fake, draws the body, and one.
Yeah, and why not? You've got a defender on your hip, call for the ball, big fella. Spin and finish at the rim.
So Little Oak goes to the line to finish the three-point play, but you nailed it that time. Once he got him on his hip, give him the,
And give him the ball. Throw it up high. Let him make a move. Let him spin the hoop in the arm. I mean, he's got 8 points right now, Casey. He's a hard-working kid out there. You know, and he's shooting the basketball from 3 feet. I would take that every trip down.
And more importantly, lead down to 7. So the Lancers have shaved 5 points. Martinez, 3, good. So right like that, easy basket on a triple the other side for the Whalers.
Talk about offense, Casey. 3 players from Waterford, that's it, have scored tonight.
D'Amico for 3, back iron. Strong rebound, O'Connell puts it to the floor. He scores, and he'll go to the line again.
Flex a little muscle on that one. Sports doctor, recognize.
It's not the first time we've seen an O'Connell put Waterford on his shoulders with rebounding and putbacks, and certainly Sean O'Connell looking a little bit like Big Bro that time, saying, you know what, I got to take business into my own hands. And Benami's going to have to come out of the game, and that's going to put Cameron Sinville back into the ball game for New London. Elsie will check back in for Peabody on the Lancer side of things. O'Connell short this time. Strong rebound, Menders, the athlete. Nice pass, Elsie to O'Connell. Pulls up, 15-footer, no good, and the ball will end up in Perry's hands. Perry, stutter step. Be curious to see if New London tries to take a little air out right now. And nope, Martinez says, I'm going to yank a 3.
That's a bad shot.
Ill-advised. I don't like that shot. I was thinking they might try to take a little air out with Pemberton on the bench, but instead we're going to try to trap. Whalers, you never know what you're going to get. Oh, nice move at the basket by Goldschneider.
11 for Goldschneider, Casey, and that time the trap and the pressure did not work for New London.
Waterford has cut the lead to 6. They've chopped half that deficit.
Hanging around.
They got alligator blood. And there's a nice reach by Elsie. Heading to the basket. Moo, Jordan Elsie for 2.
Just like that, we went from 11-point lead down to 4. Perry has not scored, and Pemberton is on the bench. How's that for New London? Talk about finding your way through a difficult part of the game. I think this is it for Craig Parker and the Whalers. And another turnover.
Raymond loses it. Oh, but a tough pass, and the Whalers will hold on to it.
Smith will come back into the game.
The old man, the former athlete. So the athletic director, Jim O'Neill, who was the athletic director at both of these schools, just sent me a picture. And I'm not going to tell you. He said, I'm trying to stay neutral.
We're not going to put that on the air.
I'm trying to stay neutral. Yeah. Both of these schools. So I'm not going to divulge what he was wearing in the picture.
Sure.
4-point lead. Perry drives, gets a step, gets to the basket. Yep. Rodia Perry's a good scorer.
Welcome back to the game, Perry. Nice move that time. 17, the delivery at the rim. He's a good basketball player.
Swing. D'Amico for 3, short. Ball loose on the floor, and we're going to get a jump ball, I'm thinking, or a travel? We're going to get a jump ball.
Jump ball, Menders. Mixing
Perry.
it up.
Yep. And it looks like we're going to get a mask break. Mask break on the floor. Time for us to take a break. 6-point Whaler lead. You're watching Game Day Live on theday.com.
Okay, class. What do you want to be when you grow up? Jace.
I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be a ballerina. I want to be an astronaut. I want to be homeless. I want to hear scary voices no one else can hear. I want to be addicted to drugs. I want to be an actress. I want to be a YouTuber. I want to be an actress. I want to be a football player.
Not one child has dreams of these things becoming a reality. Sometimes choices are set before we even have a voice.
With Sound Community Services, I found my voice.
Game Day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. Waterford Dental Health, our entire team is dedicated to providing you the personalized, convenient, and affordable dental care you and your family deserve. Boston Post Road in Waterford, Waterford Dental Health. Casey O'Neill and the sports doctor, Keith O'Brien, Mike DeMoro, Peter Wappy, and the crew tonight here at Waterford at the X.
That is the crew.
6-point lead for the Whalers.
That is the crew.
Oh, there's a familiar face up in the big
Tim
tower.
Cook, yeah.
You know
Skeleton crew.
You know it's a big night. You know it's a big night. Tim Cook's here. Tim Cook only comes to the big games. Perry, they're trying to trap. I like
that defensive pressure is being extended by Waterford, and they're trapping on everything.
Perry goes by Elsie, jump step, hangs, left hand finish at the rim.
See, that's a time there when Menders kind of vacated that spot. He was after the trap, he got out of the way, and Perry finished with the left.
So I got word in the break, sports doctor, that Jordan Elsie's been guarding Rodia Perry since they were about 8 years old. They played against each other forever. And I've got to think to myself, that's a lousy way to make a living, having to guard Rodia Perry all the time. That's no fun. And we're going to get a tie-up. Menders with a travel instead.
Little extra jump on a jump step that time by number 23. You know, Casey, we've talked in the past, too, about, you know, the athletes who play football and were possibly going on to play Division II or Division III football. Sam Menders is one of those kids, you know, where he was hurt for not having football season this year. The kid can kick the ball from here to Stonington. You know, he's a tremendous wide receiver. So, you know, he's grouped into one of those kids who, you know, what's in store for him next year on a football standpoint, because he wasn't looked at this year.
So now they're going to switch up. They're going to put Menders out on Perry. You know, maybe they try to get a little length and quickness with Menders. But I think regardless of who's guarding Perry,
you're going to take it to town.
You got to spread the floor.
Yeah.
Pull up. No good. Tip. O'Connell with the rebound. No, check that, D'Amico. Up ahead it goes to O'Connell. And the good hands by Benjamin. Saves it to Menders. Little scoop shot, no good, and O'Connell will tip it out of bounds. You know, I got my scouts everywhere. You know, I got scouts everywhere, everywhere. And my number one basketball scout said, every time Waterford's in man, clear out in space and let Perry go one-on-one with whoever's guarding him, because he'll be able to beat whoever they want off the dribble, you know, and make Waterford contend with that, whoever it is. Don't set the screen. Just get him in space. Let him beat him off the dribble. Like that. There you go.
And they're going to jump every screen, too. Look at
hangs at the rim. He just can't finish, but I mean, we're going to beat anybody he wants. And
now, New London is doing this, too, and they could have the luxury of taking an 8-point lead or possibly 10 into the end of the fourth quarter with Pemberton on the bench.
And with the 3 fouls, you know, he's gonna ride it out until the end of the third quarter for sure.
Sure.
And you know what? Depending on how this unit's playing, he might sit to start the fourth quarter as well. You know, maybe they save him for the final 5 minutes of the game, because then, you know, that fourth foul comes pretty quick. 2 of them he got on charges, by the way, going to the basket. Elsie with a nice look inside to O'Connell, but Raymond fights it off well. Battle. We're gonna get Raymond on the floor as O'Connell's just a beast.
Now that's good D that time by Raymond. Again, nice holding his ground. O'Connell got the offensive rebound, and Raymond kind of caught no man's land, but he's playing solid D out there.
Sports doctor, who's taller, O'Connell or Raymond?
O'Connell.
Yeah, they're both listed at 6'4". Someone's lying.
Yeah.
Someone's lying. I'm just not saying that. 3 ball by Elsie, no good, and rebound Menders, and then in the lane, D'Amico finishes for 2 with Perry on the dirt. Perry not happy.
Okay.
Under a minute and a half now. Perry with Menders. There's the clear out. Perry goes right by, kicks. Martinez for 3, short. Martinez, though, comes down with a rebound, and Benjamin will give it back to Perry, and they'll reset. In space again. There's the spread. You hear Kareem Brown saying, spread, get off. They want as much space as they can.
I think Chop will burn this clock down, too.
There goes Perry right by to the basket. Left-handed finish.
Can't guard him. You cannot guard him. They spread the floor, cleared out, and one-on-one. He is unguardable at this point. He had 19 points. 21, I'm sorry, for Perry.
Elsey, we're going to get a charge as Jordan Elsey dropped the shoulder and knocked Martinez to the ground. And now with 36 seconds left and an 8-point lead.
You got to think Chop will bleed out for the last shot here.
I do. The hard part is that Perry can get off the dribble anytime he
Yeah,
wants.
yeah.
So it's hard to bleed it too much, but that's what's going to happen. Under 30
They're
seconds
going to do the same thing. They're going to spread the floor.
Yep. Well, you're going to keep playing man. That's all I'm going to do until you find someone that can guard Rodia Perry.
Look at that 1-4 set. 4 guys down on the baseline. Now watch the 5 seconds, but as soon as Sam backs off of him, count starts again.
And we're going to get a foul on Menders, and Perry's going to go down to the ground, and he'll have the ball underneath with 12 seconds remaining.
Yeah, that's tough, too, because, Perry can handle the ball with his left hand, he can handle his right hand, so if Sam starts to overplay him to his right, you just saw Perry go to his left.
The adjustment for Waterford is, other than Martinez, to collapse and make someone else shoot the shot.
Yes.
Because someone else has to shoot it. There's Elsey with the interception. Move for 2. Other way, Martinez trapped, ball on the floor, and we're at the end of 3. Well, they cut it in half, 6-point Whaler lead as we head to the 4th quarter. You're watching Game Day live on theday.com. We're back, 6-point lead for New London as they withstood Tyshawn Cunningham Pemberton being on the bench for much of the 3rd period. And they've been led by this guy, Rodia Perry. He beats Menders, hangs in the air, scores with the left hand. He has been an absolute beast tonight, has Rodia Perry, the junior guard here at New London. And Coach Parker saying, well, all right, now it's time to finish. The one thing New London's had this year, 2 very close games. So down the stretch, they've had to come up with ways to beat Ledyard, with ways to beat NFA.
Coach, you guys went to a spread the floor situation down the stretch with Perry. Going to see a little more of that here in the 4th quarter?
Depends on the situation.
Okay, now you bought a lot of time with Pemberton. Talk about the luxury of having him back down the stretch.
Well, hopefully he can come through for us. Hopefully he can play good basketball and help us get a W tonight.
Good luck, Coach.
Thank you.
Going to get a blocking foul on Elsey. It's an illegal screen up top, and that'll turn the ball over. It'll be Whaler basketball. 2nd foul on Elsey. And now Pemberton will have the basketball again for New London, and changes the defensive mindset of New London as well. It also gives you another ball handler, and it'll maybe change the offense for New London. Benjamin, crossover on Elsey. Elsey, good defense that time. Now Perry, he's being guarded by Goldschneider, so they're looking for a clear out. Pull up for Perry, no good. And that tells me the other thing. Don't let him beat you off the dribble. Make him do that. That's a shot you're good with. You're okay with that sort of crossover pull up. Good officials. And now, I think what happened was the mask dropped, and he asked him to pull the mask back up and take the ball out of bounds. And if that's the case, kudos to Steve Nunn. And a turnover by Waterford. What happened was Peabody had the basketball, and his mask slipped down under the nose to the mouth. The official immediately called timeout, allowed him to adjust the mask, and had him take it out of bounds.
All right.
All right, I'm giving a clap right now for that. That was well done.
We saw a lot of mask off the nose with Jared Martin the other night, which is, I don't know if you saw that or not, in NFA.
And Mike DeMoro might have mentioned it in his column.
Okay.
Pemberton hangs at the rim. He'll be fouled by O'Connell, and he'll shoot 2. So Cunningham Pemberton right away getting back into the mix, getting to the rim, and he'll shoot a couple of free throws with gorgeous yellow sneakers, by the way. Look how that makes those uniforms pop.
It looks like almost like the old school Los Angeles Lakers of Showtime back in the day.
Look
Magic Johnson.
Who do you like more? So you got Benami's got the green ones.
Yeah.
And Pemberton's got the gold ones.
I like the gold.
Like the
I
gold,
like
you like the
gold.
green?
I like the gold.
I gotta tell you, I
like the green? I like the gold.
Originally, I liked the green, but I think the gold. You're right. I think it's got a little
Laker
vibe.
Remember the old the Magic Johnson, Larry Bird commercial where they showed up and the Bird comes out of the limo? Or,
of course.
Man, it's one-on-one. That's what it kind of reminds me of Pemberton. It's got a little Magic Johnson swag to him.
All right, I like that. Back up to an 8-point lead for the Whalers.
Lick from French Lick.
Yeah.
It's a great commercial.
It was. Oh, hanging in the air is D'Amico. Fancy at the rim.
Larry, 16 for D'Amico. Larry Bird rolls up in a tractor, and Magic Johnson rolls up in a limo. And it's on. Showtime. Showtime, Pemberton.
There's a good double. Peabody on Pemberton. Gets a screen. Crossover. Pemberton. Stutter step, can't finish. Had an opportunity, but couldn't finish it. In the other direction. Kick out, and no, Peabody had a chance at the three. He said no. Patience, I like that. D'Amico pulled his dribble up. Dump down to O'Connell. Peabody for three. No good, but they're going to call the foul, and he's going to go to the line.
That's a bad foul on the three-point line. Casey, the last couple of times down on the offensive end, London's kind of bogged down by going with that one-on-one action. Maybe a little too much with Pemberton, a little too much dribbling. I know he missed a good point-blank shot at the rim, but it seems to me you're going to have 3 or 4 guys just standing around watching when that happens.
Well, two things, Sports Doctor. Number one is that if you're going to do the guy one-on-one off the dribble, everyone else has to spread. If you've seen the last couple of trips down, Raymond's been at the foul line in that set, trying to give him a screen, but all that does is bring an extra man into the middle, so it's not a true clear-out. On the other side of things, that I don't mind that getting to the basket, but you also have to know Perry's got to get into a spot up, Martinez into a spot up.
Sure.
So that you can have a kick available. But I don't think it should be Pemberton going to the basket. I think it's got to be Perry. I mean, he's shown him his ability to score at the basket. So on the other side of things, Peabody knocks down 1 of 3. Whalers maintain a 6-point lead. 5-point lead, check that, as we're under 6 minutes remaining here in the fourth period.
Pemberton's a big kid, strong, a lot of work on his body in the offseason. Waterford will jump everything. Pemberton can take it. He can take it to the rim.
Step back three, in and out. That was not a
I don't like that. I don't like that offensive set. A little pounding at the top of the circle and then drop back from 22 feet.
Open look for D'Amico for three, in and out. And look at Pemberton going to get it. Zip pass to Benjamin. He goes up and he's hammered by D'Amico at the rim, and Davon Benjamin will shoot 2.
He got numbers there on the run out. You had Perry on a wing and you had Benjamin on one side. A lot of options there.
It's never too early to look to next year, Sports Doctor. But and I say that sincerely because
game 3 of the season.
But bear with me for a second. We have been blessed with state championship level teams in the ECC for every year that we've had game day, both on the boys and the girls side.
Yeah.
And this year, without the ability to win that state championship, it's kind of hard. We're trying to figure out who's really good and not. And I don't know if where the ECC. I think I would say maybe a down year for the ECC in a statewide sense. But I look at Tyshawn Pemberton, Jr., Rodia Perry, Jr., Anthony Martinez, Jr., Sean Raymond, Jr. This team might compete next year.
Yeah, well, they're competing right now.
Well, yeah, but
they're up by 7.
There's nothing to compete for right now.
Right, I got you. Yeah, you're talking about a state level, yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty good group. And they're up 7 right now. There's a trap. Menders says no to the 3. Dump down, nice look. O'Connell trapped under the basket. Kick out. Elsie will shoot the 3. Got it! Jordan Elsie knocks down a triple.
His uncle never shot the ball like that. I can tell you that right now.
Yeah, Perry hasn't touched the ball, by the way, in 3 trips. They got to get the ball in his hands. I don't know.
And since Pemberton's come back into the game,
There it is now. Perry, stutter steps. Rotate it back and forth. It's okay.
I'd let him go to work.
Goldschneider's down and ready, though. That's that good defensive position. Look at Elsie. Now they're switching out of man into help. Man help right there. Waterford turning up the defensive pressure. New London trying to do everything off the dribble. You got to have.
Menders is harassing Pemberton.
There goes Perry. Kick out. Benjamin 4 goes to 3. He's not going to take that. There goes Perry. Great defense by Goldschneider. Perry ties them up. They're on the floor. They're going to get a jump ball. Possession arrow is favoring New London.
You know, is this offense hurting the Whalers or helping them? It seems like they're milking a 15-point lead by spreading the floor like this, but they're only up by 4. And are they getting quality looks out of this? I understand Pemberton missed with the rim, but like you said, Perry hasn't had a touch either.
Well, it's an interesting set of circumstances. When in the beginning of the game, they had this really nice offense, patience right against the zone. Then Waterford went man when Pemberton went out of the game, and New London did a great job with isolating Perry. Well, now that they're both in the game, they're back to this offensive one-on-one basketball.
It just bogs down. It's pounding the basketball.
So maybe what we're seeing is their man offense might not be as good as their zone offense. Maybe their man offense relies too much on dribble penetration.
And Mender's doing a great job on Pemberton.
Kick out. Martinez for 3, and look at the block by Menders on the 3-ball.
So Menders is playing defense against Pemberton, loses his man, then comes out of the wing and helps out and blocks on the 3. Hustle play, Sam. That should be New London's basketball.
The ball was clearly blocked by Menders. And that's an unbelievable play, Sports Doctor. As you said, he came all the way from.
He came off of Pemberton and went to the rim, and then with his wingspan flew out to the 3-point line and blocked that shot. Mask break, too.
3:35, 4-point Whaler lead. Mask break time. We're coming back. You're watching Game Day Live on theday.com. We're back, 4-point Whaler lead. You're watching Game Day, live on theday.com. And Game Day is brought to you by Waterford Dental Health. Great smiles, like I have, like the Sports Doctor has. They start right there. Waterford Dental Health, Boston Post Road in Waterford.
It's all weird. I got a mask on. I got a big beard now. It'd rival yours in a way. I mean, my beard's pretty chunky right now. COVID beard. Casey, you talk about hustle. You talk about a defensive play. Look at Menders coming way up from the top of the circle to block that 3-point shot. Again, he comes off his man and then makes up so much ground. And you talk about a 3-sport athlete, football, track, basketball. You just saw the athleticism for number 23.
Well, I think you seized on a really important thing. He left the guard spot to get down to the corner. And we had talked about Waterford turning up the defensive pressure. And you said when they were playing zone and he was in the top of that zone,
he's got to crank it up.
You said this is the guy that needs to be. That's what you're out there for. You're not out there to shoot threes.
No,
you're out there because you're an athlete and play in defensive pressure.
Yep.
That play right there, that's a hustle play.
That's a disruption right there. That is, you're out there to disrupt things, hustle.
I would say that once upon a time, the great Tommy Heinsohn would have given him a Tommy point.
They call it the lunch pail play by the Sports Doctor. A little set piece off the inbounds. 5 second?
Got a 5 second call. They couldn't get it in. And by the way, off of a break, to not be able to run an inbounds play that's a coach's nightmare right there.
That's Chop looking at Arnie, looking at Brown, saying, what's going on?
Elsie, guarded by Martinez. Pemberton went for the steal. Menders drives. And blocked by Raymond, but O'Connell with the strong rebound. He's going to finish, and the foul.
13 for Oak. Man, strong as Oak that time. Menders with the hard charge. Oak cleaning up the mess off the block, and it could be a 1-point game if he knocks this down.
This game was 12, and it looked like New London was going to run away with it. Instead,
1-point game.
1-point game.
I think the slowdown on the offensive end is playing right into Waterford's hands.
There's Perry, pulls up. The JV game was fabulous, by the way.
Perry's, sure.
Well,
Perry's going to go to work.
I'm going to give you a reason why I'm bringing that up. Perry spin, nothing there. Benjamin for 3, no good. Martinez scrapping on the ground, comes away with the rebound, but it's tipped and it comes in the hands of D'Amico. Menders in the other direction. Running the floor with Elsie. And how about this? The Lancers have the lead.
9 points for Jordan Elsie off the bench.
the reason I bring up the JV game is it was exactly like this, an incredibly competitive back-to-back game. I expect we're going to see a fabulous finish. Raymond at the rim, and O'Connell with the foul, and D'Amico rather. Raymond up high finishes and puts the Whalers back on top. Sports Doctor, you like that?
Yeah, I tell you, this is what happens. You know, when you're running the offense through two guys and somebody else has got to step up. Raymond says, "Give me a little taste here, coach." Take the fourth foul on D'Amico, but he took matters in his own hands. I like the aggressive finish at the rim.
I think
Raymond's played well. He's played a good ball game.
Yeah, he has. And ball tipped. It's going to stay with New London. That's good work by Perry. You know, Sports Doctor, D'Amico with 4 fouls is a big deal.
That's
New London should go right at him. They're going to play man. I'd find whoever he's guarding and go right at him.
And Chop will call timeout right there, Case. 2:28 left. 52-51. New London back on top after Raymond with a little finish at the rim. Good ball game.
Now, in past years, it's not going to happen this year, but in past years, New London right now would spread you out and take 2.5, would take the air out of this thing and get it down and say, you're going to have to come out and play us. I think with this team, they're going to try to, you're going to see Pemberton.
I think they're going to try and do the same thing, though. I don't think they're going to take a shot before 140, 150. Yeah, you talk about players taking matters in their own hands. There's Raymond, the dribble, then the finish at the rim, the hoop, and the arm. But just that step in, and again, you see all the space, Casey, in the paint because the defenders are out covering either, Perry and or Pemberton. So you've got a chance to get yourself in a one-on-one situation, put the ball on the floor, and make a play.
I think you're going to see Perry, Benjamin, and Benjamin, and Pemberton. Perry and Benjamin.
Yeah, the 3 Ps, Peter, Paul, and Mary.
Yeah, that's all you're going to see.
Out there?
Benjamin shoots the 3, back rim, but look at Perry go up strong and wisely pull it out. That's a smart move.
Set play off of a timeout, too, that corner 3 ball.
And see, there's how you know they're going to take some air out of it. He's going to look to beat him off the dribble, but if there's no kick, he'll hang and
no
score.
Help. And no help either that time. That is great body control. And delay game warning on, was that Benjamin?
Yeah. But let's look at that, by the way. New London off the basket. What did they do?
Pressure.
They go right into pressure.
Right into pressure.
They want to try to make this 3-point game into a 5-point game, a 7-point game.
Get a turnover, get an easy bucket.
And I think it caught Waterford off guard. I think that was a break for Waterford with the delay of game against Benjamin. But they're staying in the pressure, trapping, double team. Nice job by Waterford.
You
Here
got to
comes
get
Kelsey.
back.
O'Connell, pump fake, kick out. 3-ball Goldschneider's good.
Oh, that's a big-time shot. What a delivery that time by inside-outside basketball by Oak. 14 points for the young man, Goldschneider.
Yeah, and New London went from trapping, trying to get a turnover, and Waterford broke it really well. We're going to get a timeout, New London. I love how Waterford broke that. They got the rebound, the kick. That ball didn't touch the floor. Pass. And an open
inside
three.
Out, yeah. Again, we talked about the trust with your teammates and, playing together for so long. And that's the thing about Waterford. They know where they're going to be. Great job by O'Connell.
So, right now, tie basketball game, 1:42 remaining. New London with the basketball, and I'm fascinated. I really am to see what Shop is going to do out of this timeout.
Yep.
Are they going to run that clear out again and try to go right after him? Are they going to take the air out of it and,
I think they're going to be aggressive to the rim off the timeout and try to get back into that pressure. So that's the call right there. But you saw last time down, Waterford beat that pressure pretty easily.
Look how easily right there, right?
Just 2 passes.
Pass, 1 dribble, 2 dribbles, pass inside, outside.
Trailer coming.
Boom, 3-point. That's just too easy, right?
Yep, it is too easy.
So there's the danger. There's the danger, right? I love the idea of the basket into the pressure, but if you're going to just give up a basket in the other direction.
The hustle back on the weak side has got to be there for New London. Once the pressure is beaten, you've got to get back on the weak side, and that time New London didn't get back. That's why Goldschneider was wide open on the 3-point line. That's point blank. It was too easy.
The difference between Perry and where he needs to be is he's got to penetrate, and so does Pemberton. They've got to try to penetrate. That pounding right there is no good. That's a good kick out. Raymond fakes the 3, hangs, and finishes.
Oh, boy, he has bailed out New London a couple different times here in the fourth quarter. He's got 13 points.
Yeah, Raymond's played big for the Whalers. in the other direction.
He's smart here if you're Waterford.
O'Connell drives, has Raymond beat, and
Tough.
finishes.
Tough, he is tough. 16, just put your head down on the floor. They can't guard you. Big man, be productive.
And we're under a minute. Perry's got Goldschneider on him.
That's a good ball game. Mike Tomorrow whispers in my ear. Wish there were fans here.
Oh, there was a dangerous pass by Perry. Hands were on it, but Menders tips it out of bounds. 47 seconds left, and the Whalers will have it.
I'm sorry, Casey. This gym would be rocking right now if the X was.
I don't know what you're talking
Lancer
about.
Nation's right there.
Lancer
yeah.
Nation's right there.
Good basketball game.
Lancer Nation is in the house tonight. Perry will inbound underneath. There's Lancer Nation. They're cheering it. Long pass to Raymond. Now Perry will come all the way back and get it. And 40 seconds left. Goldschneider has done a nice job. There's Perry. Drive. Hang. No good. O'Connell with the rebound. Benjamin tried to strip it from behind. Watch out. Perry from behind. There it is. Perry takes it away, and we're going to get timeout. Oh, Bill Bassett, you're a genius. Bill Bassett saw Perry coming from behind before O'Connell did and called the timeout. That's why you're a two-time defending state champion. All praise to thee. I mean, that's as good as it gets.
It's pretty nifty.
I mean, he saw. That was like the Matrix.
Yeah.
He saw it before anybody saw it happening. (56-56).
Yeah.
You're Waterford right now. I'm going to put you in Bill Bassett's shoes.
Sure.
All right, you're feeling good. You just call the timeout.
Yep.
You're feeling good right now. What are you doing with this basketball?
I'm holding for the last shot, but I don't, look at New London's going to pressure and trap and leave you exposed on the back end. But if I'm Waterford, I'm holding for the last shot.
You think you can hold the ball for 25 seconds
No,
without
that's
turning
a
it over
lot.
against this team?
That's a very, very tall task.
I'm telling you right now, I want the ball.
I want to go to. I tell you what.
Two players.
Yeah, Oak
and D'Amico.
D'Amico.
I want D'Amico with the ball, and I want Oak to post up. I'm going to get O'Connell the ball. He's going to get to the line, or he's going to get me a basket.
Sure. And you see Oak here, Casey. Talk about putting your head down and going. A lot of space there. That's too easy. Took Raymond off the dribble, and he's got a little sweet jump hook from about 4 feet.
Weak side guys got to step up, take that charge.
Gotta come up. Gotta come up.
LC will inbound it.
Perry on the ball.
Perry on him. LC inbounding. And they're going to get the ball into Goldschneider's hands. Benjamin turns up the defense on him.
Both teams in the bonus. Both teams are in the bonus.
There's a good screen. Perry hounding LC. 20 seconds. There's D'Amico. That's why I said I wanted to have the ball in his hands. We're under 10 seconds.
Screen by Menders.
There's a switch. Dump into O'Connell. O'Connell spins. Kick out. Goldschneider. Basket is good. And the Lancers hit the three. Goldschneider, the junior. Oh, my.
Can you hold it for 26 seconds or 29 seconds and not turn the ball over? Yes, you can.
Now the question is, how much time are they going to put back on the clock? 0.7 seconds remaining. New London wants some time. Put back on the clock. They're going to have to hit a three at the. That's a dangerous situation. Waterford, they held it well though. And Goldschneider, let's take a look, Sports Doctor.
Here you go. Oak underneath. Man at the three-point line, point blank, dagger. Could be ball game.
Well, D'Amico had the ball, dumped it into Oak. I said those were the only two guys I wanted to touch the ball.
That's what you got.
Right,
good goal center.
One more guy. I mean, that's a great play, and that's a big shot. I think New London wanted to travel on O'Connell, and, maybe. But now they put some time on the clock. 1.8 seconds, so there's enough for the inbound, a couple of dribbles, or a pass and a shot. But if anyone not named Perry, or I'm going to say Raymond, they got to find a way for one of those two guys to take this last shot. And because of where the basket occurred, New London's going to have to go length the floor.
Yep. Oh, the perseverance of Waterford down the stretch of this ball game. I mean, wow.
Benhami will inbound. Gets it to Pemberton at the buzzer. Long three. No good. And the improbable happens at the X. The Waterford Lancers come back from a 12-point halftime deficit, and they beat the New London High School Whalers 59-56 at the X. What a game here at the X. A classic rivalry game between Waterford and New London finishes with an improbable and, quite frankly, astonishing victory for the Lancers. We'll have the sports doctor. He's going to have head coach Bill Bassett and the Waterford Dental Health Player of the Game. As what a basketball game here at the X. The Whalers were on top by 12. They never trailed until Nolan Goldschneider dropped the triple at the end of the basketball game. First, the sports doctor will talk with head coach Bill Bassett, and then the Waterford Dental Health Player of the Game, Nolan Goldschneider. But first, the sports doctor will be with Lancer head coach Bill Bassett, who I think is in a better mood than he was at halftime. Sports doctor.
Well, Coach, wow. First of all, down by 12 heading into the locker room, what was the first thing you guys talked about?
We talked about just the little things. We've been, the past few practices, we've really focused on the little things. I thought we got away from that in the first half. Our rebounding was pretty good. But, New London hit a lot of good shots in the first half and in the second half. They had a great penetration game in the second half. But it was the little things in playing as a team. Sometimes we tend to play as individuals too much, play as a team.
Coach, early in the season, with only played one opponent, and now you take on New London. Obviously, undefeated coming in here. Did you find out something about your team in the second half and in the fourth quarter?
I found out that they're ready to dig, that they are ready to fight back. They were a little down at half. I think we all were a little shell-shocked. It's a great program. They've been doing a great job. But they were ready to fight the entire game, and they knew they would have to take this game from New London. New London's not giving anything to anybody, so they're going to have to take what they can.
Right. They hurt you with the spreading the floor. With Perry at the top of the circle, they spread the floor. Yep. He hurt you. What was the adjustment you made down the stretch to take that away from them?
We had to really work on our help defense, but also, there were times they were picking up the ball, and we're giving Perry just clear looks to pass to whoever we wanted, and we needed to kind of tighten up those passing lanes once he had picked up his dribble.
Now, you've got some athletes out there making plays, too. Sam Menders made a great block at a corner on a three-ball. Talk about some of the players that have to step up and fill roles for this team in order to be successful.
We've had a lot, last year's team, a lot of seniors graduated. We didn't have a lot of summer league, like a lot of chemistry.
Right, 9 months of no basketball is a long time.
We had 9 months of no basketball, and so we had players coming in, sophomores, juniors, guys, even seniors who haven't played a lot of minutes.
Right.
And now they're starting to trust each other. When they start kind of bickering amongst themselves, but then I'm like, guys, we have to trust each other. We're teammates, trust each other, and they did.
Not looking too far ahead, but this is a big week for your team. A couple of big games. How much does a win like this help you guys out going into next week?
You know what? It gives us confidence going into this next week. I think we can definitely take care of things we want to work on and get some wins coming up.
Hey, Coach, stay healthy. I like the mask, by the way. Bill Bassett, great win tonight, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sports Doctor. Let's bring in the Waterford Dental Health Player of the Game, three-pointer to win it, Nolan Goldschneider.
Hey, Nolan, Waterford Dental Health Player of the Game, Nolan Goldschneider. Listen, all smiles underneath your mask. Walk me through that last play and that big three-point shot you hit to win the game.
Hey, I was just trying to have some confidence in my shot. I hit the one before, and great look by Sean O'Connell. I was calling for it. He hit me. Just shot ended up going in.
Right. The inside-outside play between you and Sean. You guys seem to be on the same page, especially down the stretch of this game.
Oh, yeah. We've been playing forever since we were little kids, and we've just had that connection ever since we were younger.
That helps, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, now you guys are down by 12. Obviously, I'm sure the halftime speech, we can't really say what Bill Bassett said, but what was different with the energy of the team in the second half?
We just weren't going to let up. We weren't going to let them come into our court and just take the game from us, especially in just the first half where we didn't play well.
Right.
We knew that we just had to pick it up and that we could play with them.
Right. No fans in here, senior night, but when you're on the court, is it still Waterford versus New London?
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's still that rivalry between us, and we know it, they know it, so it was great to just play the good game with them.
I'm sure it's a lot of fun to be out here playing basketball as well.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm glad to be back out here.
Lancer Nation, not here. They're here behind us over here. But you know what? Hey, great job tonight. Waterford Dental Health, player of the game. Good luck and stay healthy.
Yeah, thank you. You too.
Thank you, Sports Doctor. I'll tell you what. We have been at the X with thousands of people. We've been at the X with hundreds of people. We've been at the X any number of times. And sometimes you just got to give credit where credit is due. To quote J.R. Chaponi, the Lancers just battle at the X.
Yeah, they worked hard, man. Hey, listen, I thought this game was over a couple of different times. I'm not too sure what kind of metal Waterford was made out of, but, you know, Bill Bassett's a good coach, and there's some good players over there, and there's some tough kids. So I think once you figure things out a little bit, and maybe that's the difference between Waterford and New London right now. Waterford has that pedigree of knowing how to win. Maybe New London needs a tough game like this to figure out how to win.
So, well, New London figured out how to win against Ledyard in a close game and NFA in a close game. Yeah. We talked about some themes before the game. We said Waterford doesn't know that they don't believe anything about them not being a great team because they're a great program and they're well coached. And we said they hadn't seen anybody like New London in their first two games, and the first half showed that. Yeah. The second half, that toughness, the defense, the good coaching, the whole concept of it being a good program, to me, that came out in the second half.
Yeah.
And you nailed it. Those kids over there are tough, and they believe
tough
they
kids.
Can win. New London, I think that the key was when Pemberton came back in the game, and they started pounding the basketball.
Yeah, they bogged down. Yeah.
They became less efficient when those two were on the floor, and that's something for them to learn. So now you're going to have. You get Waterford's undefeated, Fitch is undefeated. We know NFA is good. We know New London's a good team.
Good team.
This is going to be an interesting year in the ECC.
There's
a lot of teams. I think anybody on any given night, more so than ever before. I think there's 5 teams that can beat each other on any given night.
Who knows?
But what we know is that when we're here at the X, special things happen.
Fireworks.
There are always great games.
Boom.
Here, and tonight on senior night was no exception. We at Game Day will always be here for you. Tuesday, Friday, weather permitting next week. We'll be right back at it again. We want to bring you the best in high school sports that we can, and we will be right back at it. Sports Doctor, so far we have had increasingly better games each time. They're going to have a lot to live up to.
Let's go for a ride. I can't wait to see what the next 4 or 5 weeks brings.
For Mike DeMoro, Peter Wappy, Tim Cook, the Sports Doctor, Keith O'Brien, I am Casey O'Neill saying good night, everybody.